All right, everybody, man. This is your boy Trey with Let's Just Talk Trey. And man, we got a special guest here. This guy right here, man, I ran into him on TikTok. Again, one of his TikToks caught my attention, spoke to me. It was almost as if he knew my life from a lot of what he was saying. I literally had to, blink twice to truly understand what it was that I was hearing from him. So then after that, man, I wanted to grab him, bring him on here again. I know a lot of my community love to see new people, but also being able to see and bring people on that I think can have a huge impact on not just my life or the interview and time I have with them, but also with you all. But I want to welcome here, man, today, Vernell, bro. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing fantastic, and I'm very happy to be here, brother.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And it's again, just want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. Vernell.
Yeah, Vernell,
Vernell. All right, cool, cool, cool. Bro, how old are you, by the way, man?
23.
23, bro.
Yeah.
23 and killing it. Let's go. Let's go. I love it, man. Again, I came across you on TikTok, bro. Came across what you were doing. You are a podcaster as well.
Yep.
You run your own podcast. This man has on. So it's not just me out here doing it. So many people meet me and they're just like, Trey, you doing that? And I'm like, nah. It's people right here who are younger than me. I'm 28. But again, Vernell being 23 podcast, bro, you seem to have had some incredible people on there. Got some traction. I done seen the
Yeah.
numbers.
I mean, we've had some hitters.
Come on, bro. So where did all this start? If you could, let's just go there right quick. Why did you do this? Why did you grab a mic and start recording yourself and others?
I actually made an episode about this, why I started the podcast.
Mm,
When I was transitioning out of being a student athlete,
yep.
I wanted to see what were the opportunities and what were other things that I can do outside of that. I knew, and everyone around me was kind of doing the same thing. It was either you were going to college, you were getting a job, or in my circle, most dudes that weren't playing sports anymore, they were trying to rap. I knew I
Mm.
had no musical talent, and I knew that I wanted to do something where I could make decent money so I could support the lifestyle that I wanted. And I started the podcast is because the reason I started is because that's the resource that I wanted to see when I was 18.
Mhm,
Everyday people making six, seven, and even eight figures,
mhm,
some of the people that we've interviewed
mhm,
from different avenues. We've had NFT experts,
mm.
Amazon store people. We've had people who do home health care, so many different businesses, people making six, seven, and eight figures from. And these are just regular, everyday people.
Yeah.
Celebrities, these aren't
Mhm,
athletes. These are people who have added value into the marketplace. So I wanted to see what options did I have, but I didn't
mm.
really have a resource like that. So now this podcast is the resource for people who want to transition out of being an athlete or whatever other people or whatever box they're putting them in, who want to transition out of that. And they're asking themselves the question, what are my options? What are other things that I can do?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the reason why I started it.
That is that, bro. That all right. Before I go further, take us back a little bit. Take us back a little bit. Where are you from? Where were you raised? Where'd you grow up? I know you've touched on this on TikTok a little bit, so that's why I'm kind of going here. But
Uh-huh.
your upbringing, how did it influence, this coming about of a podcast and all these different type of things? How did all that look? If you could kind of take us back a little bit in terms of who Vernell was as a young kid.
Yes, absolutely. Now, one thing that I say is that I have always been myself. I
Mm,
remember when I think I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I'm from Apple Valley, California. Well, I was born in Apple Valley, California. I moved to Vegas when I was 8 years old. And I remember I was like 6 or 7 years old, and my grandmother said, she was like, oh, we're in a recession. We're broke. We don't have money to do XYZ. And I said, I'm not broke. I'm not poor. And they still tease me about that to this day because when I was 6, 7 years old, I was like,
yeah.
I'm not broke. I'm not
Yeah.
poor. That's the in my reality, I was
That's
like,
what I mean.
I'm gonna figure out something.
Mm-hmm.
In my head, I was always rich.
For sure.
But my upbringing, initially, it was a little bit rough. My dad got locked up when I was 3 years old.
Mm,
He's in there for 2 counts of murder, so he's going to be in there for quite some time.
yeah.
And my mom, she raised me, and she did a great job. I'll always speak about how my mom did a great job. She did everything that she could,
Yeah.
but there's no way for a woman to raise a man because there's some things that a woman just never will go through or experience as a woman. Just like there's no way for me to raise a woman as a man because there's some things in some situations I will never go through as a man as opposed to a woman.
Come on. Yeah.
So I had that piece missing, but I always saw masculinity.
Yeah.
Like one of my first memories as a kid was watching Dragon Ball Z, and my favorite character was Vegeta.
Come on. Yeah.
He had said something. I think he said there's one thing. He said something like there's one truth that a strong man stands above all. He said something like that when back in the old original DBZ days.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember that moment when I was watching the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to be like those guys.
Yeah.
Like I want to be strong. I want to have muscle. I want to be able to protect.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
So I tried to seek that through sports. I was like, okay, I want to be a masculine dude. I didn't want to, because oftentimes when you're raised by a single mom, a lot of those dudes, they grow up feminine.
Bro.
They grow up feminine because you're hearing your mom, and I grew up in a house of all women.
Yeah, same.
You're hearing your mom, your grandma, your auntie, your gossip, they're going shopping, and a lot of young men pick up on these traits. There's a lot of single households. A lot of these young men are picking up on these traits.
Yep.
I don't know what it was about me when I was young, but I knew for a fact one of the things that I remember when I was young. I used to get in fights all the time at school because my dad's half Native American. So they would braid my hair down to my butt, and I would get called a girl. And I would always say, I'm not no girl. I always said that since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So that was something that was important to me. And I was able to seek that brotherhood, that male mentorship, and other things that I needed through sports.
Yeah.
So I was able to avoid the pitfall of, and like I said, my mom did a great job. She did everything that she could. She worked 2 jobs. It wasn't like we were living in a trap house.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had a small apartment. It's not like we weren't super poor to the point where there wasn't food on the table. But I also I didn't see my mom very often because she worked 2-3 jobs at a time.
Exactly.
So I was left to kind of not raise myself, but at least the masculine side of myself, I had to do on my own. I had to seek it.
Yep.
So any man that I would see growing up, whether it be a basketball coach, whether it be Kobe Bryant, who was one of my idols when I was young.
Yep.
I was like, how can I take those characteristics that I see? Because I only see and recognize those characteristics because I have them in me. Yeah. In some form or fashion. How do I grasp those characteristics and bring them to the surface so I can be that kind of man too? Man. And I'll be right back, brother. I gotta go grab my charger.
Bro. I'm about to die. You good, man? I can pause it. Yep. All right, man.
So that's kind of how I went about my masculine side as a young man and growing up.
Bro, I relate to everything you said. Like I'm telling you, like it's like a mirror. Like it's so amazing again to be speaking with a brother. So then you also understand that aspect of it, but you know
that's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother, like,
especially when you're the kind of black dude that I am.
Yeah.
And the kind of black dude that you are. You said you're in tech, IT. That's not normal,
bro. It's not normal.
Let's be real,
bro. The only one in the classroom. I'm telling you, like I've had it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I've had it, and again, you're supposed to be a certain way. Because certain people want you to be, like you said, you even going into your basketball, bro. You want to talk about that a little bit? Like you said that was an expectation that you said your mom and other people had. How did that come about?
Man, basketball was probably one of the most character building things that I've ever done because I never liked any of my teammates. I had one basketball team. I had one basketball team that I was on that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And I had I played varsity from my sophomore to senior year. Freshman, they sat me on the bench for the playoffs, but I never really got to play. And it was tough because I was who I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really hung out or made friends with a lot of basketball players just because we didn't have anything in common outside of basketball. In high school, I wasn't a star student.
Yeah.
But I definitely wasn't. I wasn't dumb either. I
Yeah.
took honors and AP classes. I
Yeah.
wasn't the top of those classes. I was usually at the lower
Mm-hmm.
or the middle of those
Mm-hmm.
classes, but I was in those classes.
Yeah.
I was involved in student council. I was in Black Student Union. I was the head
Mm-hmm.
of the newspaper at school. So I had so many different interests because I knew. And one of the things that made me realize is they brought in I think he was like a 3-star recruit that went to our school.
Mm.
I think he averaged like 28 points a game, something ridiculous.
Ooh.
And I was hearing that he was struggling financially now because he was having issues getting a deal going overseas. They didn't pay that much. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm averaging 13 a game. He averaged double.
Yeah.
This guy's averaging double. He's struggling financially.
Yeah.
That was the year. I think I was a sophomore.
Yeah.
That was the year where I was like, I have to get involved in other things because if this doesn't work out, what the hell am I going to do? I don't want to be running around forever talking about I was this and that in high school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't want that. I was like, I wanted, after it was done, I wanted to move on with my life.
Exactly.
I wanted to make sure I found a skill, found a trade.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to add value. I didn't want to be talking about putting a ball in a hoop for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So it was a great experience for character building because I had to work with a lot of people that I just did not like. I really didn't like I liked one coach and one team. Yeah. And that coach, I had one of the biggest AAU teams out in Vegas now, the Las Vegas Knicks. I was on the team before it was a big team. So I was like one of the founding players.
Wow.
Back in like, I think 8th or 9th grade.
Yeah.
And that was way before it was big. Now it's
huge.
Yeah, now they have Division I, they have pro, they have NBA players. Like they're a huge team.
Mm-hmm.
So I was one of the founding players. And I remember the coach had reached out to my mom and was like, Vernell isn't passionate about playing basketball. Vernell isn't passionate. He won't hang out with us or go get lunch after practice or after the game. It's always practice and straight home. And I'm thinking, it's practice and straight home. It's because I don't like none of y'all. I'm going to be real. I don't like any of you guys.
Exactly, yeah.
There's other things that I want to talk about. There's other conversations. I don't want to be, because I'm the only one sitting there that's not struggling with their grades. I can't talk about that with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm the only one sitting there I have other interests outside of basketball. Mm-hmm. Whether it's basketball or just girls, that was really the only two topics of conversation.
That was a conversation, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I had other interests. Yeah. So after basketball practice, I'm going to hang out with my friends.
Exactly.
I'm going home to my Xbox.
Yeah, interest, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm going home to watch anime. Like, I'm not kicking with y'all. I'm not kicking it with y'all. Once it's done, it's done. Yeah. And that year, my mom took me off the team, and I had reached out to the junior varsity coach at my high school. The junior varsity team had started an AAU team called the Demons. And I asked to join.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, hell yeah. Because a lot of the junior varsity team I was friends with. Because we were all in the same grade. I just played at varsity.
Mm-hmm.
So I was friends with those dudes. So I had a blast playing that year. Like we played some high-level tournaments, and we showed out a lot of people who didn't think that we were going to go as far as we did or do as well as we did. We did so well because we really liked each other.
Yeah.
Like we had a lot of chemistry. Some of my best friends, some of my closest friends.
Yeah.
My favorite coach. I really only had one coach that I really liked, and that one team that I really, really enjoyed playing with throughout my entire basketball career. But that taught me how to deal with people that I don't like in business.
Exactly.
There's plenty of people I don't like in business.
Yeah.
People who say foul stuff, people who are divas. I've had to deal with a lot of divas on my podcast. People showing up late, rescheduling last minute, a
Hmm.
lot of that stuff that I have to deal with. But
Yeah.
I built that skill and that thick skin through dealing with all those people
Yeah.
who I clearly didn't like, but I had to smile and be teammates with.
Hmm.
So it taught me really how to be a team player.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro. That, that going transitioning from, again, what you're saying in regards to your basketball and first off, being in it with a bunch of people that you did not like. Did you communicate that with your mom? Was that something that she
Yeah,
knew? Okay.
yeah. I told her because we had this crazy situation
Okay.
where I was 15 and under for AAU, and they sent me with 17.
Oh,
And I went on the trip with them to Arizona, and this was the most ridiculous stuff.
yeah.
These dudes are the wild. They were the wildest
Wow.
dudes,
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what I
and
got out of it. Yeah.
we're talking about 4 and even 5-star recruits
Yeah.
that, unfortunately, just because their wild nature didn't even end up going anywhere.
Wow.
But I came home from that trip from my mom, and I told my mom, like, please do not make me go back.
Dang.
Yeah, I was like, please do not make me go back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was her and the coach were cool,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, I think Vernell should come on the trip with us to see what high level basketball is like to play." And these dudes were studs. These
Yeah.
dudes were extremely good on
Yeah.
the court. It was
Hmm.
just their off the court stuff that
Just wasn't
ultimately,
there.
yeah, it kept them from going to the next level.
Wow.
But yeah, my mom knew that. I was like, please do not send me back. And yeah, I used to miss damn near everything, like
Hmm.
all like the get-togethers and stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I was involved in everything. Like I said, I was in student council, journalism, Black Student
Yeah.
Union. I was involved in a lot of different stuff, and then me and my friends, we started a lot of clubs, and it was
Wow.
cool. We had some really creative clubs. We had the air hockey club where
Bro,
we gave rewards and stuff, and
let's go.
they did tournaments and brackets. So we did a lot of fun stuff. But basketball, it was a great. It's it's part. It's really what made me who I am today.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for it. But I knew when it was over, and I see a lot of people today. They're like, oh, uh, XYZ. Isaiah Thomas was 5'9" and he made it to the NBA. Muggsy Bogues. And my point is the fact that you have to pick out that one person to prove that you
Mm,
can possibly make it doesn't disprove the rule. It proves the rule is true that you have to be a
mm,
certain height, you have to be of a certain skill level. That's
that's
a
true.
that doesn't disprove the rule. That proves it. You only have
Yeah.
2 people to name out of the hundreds
Yeah.
of NBA players. That doesn't disprove
True.
it.
True. True, man. I love how you keep saying and you keep mentioning things that put you outside the box. I can tell you don't like to be in this, yeah, this paint a picture.
Yeah, I hate when
I
people
can
even
tell.
categorize me.
Yep.
Like, I'm Vernell.
Yeah.
That's what I
Exactly.
am. You can put
Exactly.
there's a lot of labels under that:
Yeah.
entrepreneur, marketer, podcaster, athlete, fitness trainer. But above all, I'm Vernell.
Vernell. I'm Vernell. Exactly. Bro, that rings so true in your words. It rings so true in your actions too. Because again, I see all the things and hear all the things that you did. Um, again, a lot like what you're saying, bro. I myself, would do the same things. It was the anime, it was the games, again, I tried out for I think it was my sophomore year. I was trying out for junior, or for varsity. And again, I made first cuts, didn't want to make seconds because again, when you see your friends fall off, or at least the people that you do like, they don't make the cuts. I was like, bro, I'm
I
not
know
like,
it's
yeah,
tough.
bro,
I
I
used to
can't
see that all
stand
the
it.
time. Like, damn, my homies didn't make it.
I can't stand it. Bro, you would sabotage yourself. It's like, I don't want to do
Yeah,
this.
it's like, damn, my homies
Yeah.
didn't make it. That's tough.
It's
I'm
tough,
about to
bro.
play with these dudes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, and you don't like when you know what type of people they are, you know what they're doing, you know what they're about, So then being surrounded by those things, bro, I can only imagine how that was for you. Cause you gotta show up in order to be a part of the team. So I know you were
And
suffocating.
I did. I did though. I showed
Yeah.
up every day. And
Mm-hmm.
110%, all years that I played, any coach can say anything about me.
Yeah.
You cannot say that when I stepped within those 4 or 5 lines, that I did not work my ass off.
Exactly.
I was the person who I wanted to make sure my defender was bent over, grabbing
Mm-hmm.
his shorts, gasping for air.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, whether I had a great game or bad game.
Yeah.
One thing that you can never say about me is that I didn't show up and I didn't work hard.
Yeah.
First dude on the runs. I'd stay after practice sometimes to
Yeah.
get in some work with one of my other coaches.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was the dude that worked hard, so I was passionate about the game,
Mm-hmm.
just not the extras. One of my favorite player right now. Before it was Dwayne Wade. Nowadays Giannis,
Yeah.
because he has
Yeah.
that mentality.
That mentality.
I don't
Yeah.
want to be friends with y'all.
Yep.
I don't want to be friends with everybody in the NBA.
Yep.
I'm here to play. I'm
Yeah.
here to kill these dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I step, there are no friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're here getting down to business, and that's kind of how I thought about it the entire time. But as soon as I stepped out of it, it was funny because people would watch me play and they'd be like, dude, I almost don't even recognize you when you're playing basketball. That's how different your
Woo.
energy is.
Yeah, man.
Because I'm a furious competitor with
Yeah.
everything. Even in my podcast, my credit business,
Yeah.
everything that I've done in my life, I am a furious competitor that I want to be first. I want to beat everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no problem. And I know a lot of people discourage that. Oh, don't be so competitive.
Right.
I am a competitive dude.
Exactly.
I want to be number one in everything that I can be number one in.
Bro. And that's what's making our society, I think, soft. What Gary Vee calls it 8th place trophies. You know what I'm saying? Giving trophies out to 8th place. Like, nah, like that's actually
what is that? I didn't even know it was a thing.
I didn't.
What in the world,
bro? That's what's happening. You know, the moms, the dads are patting the kid on the back when he loses. It's like competition is actually what fuels the economy. You know, like that actually is a thing. Like you should be trying to improve on social media. You should be trying to improve on content. You should be trying to improve or grow or doing more things or pressing harder than the next person, because the next person will press. And if you don't take that leap or that risk, they'll knock you out of business.
Yeah,
there it goes.
I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it. I want to be number one in everything that I do,
bro. And that is not I don't understand why that's demonized.
I don't get it either. I think people are just, like you said, there's so many people being coddled. I didn't get coddled my whole life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When imagine being 14 years old, and everybody's got their parents in the stands cheering them on, and me, I look up, I got no one in there.
Facts.
What I was trying to do was much different than the next guy.
Yeah.
That's why I did the run so hard. That's why I not only took my basketball serious, but I took my school serious.
Yeah.
I knew that for a lot of my mom, my grandmother, the people that are really close to me, I was their ticket, because the past generation messed up.
Yeah.
I was showing up for a totally different reason than most people. I wasn't showing up to look cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't showing up to get the oohs and the ahs.
Yeah.
I was showing up to display to whatever coach or whatever college that was in the stand that I am somebody that you want on your team. And this is what I'm doing in business. I am somebody that you want to be on my podcast. You want me to train you. You want me to do X, Y, Z. I'm that guy for that.
Bro. Man, for everybody that's listening right now, this is why I brought him on. Like already, bro, your speech has a fire. Like you have a conviction. That's what it is. Your speech has a conviction. It's like this man, he done been through some things. Like that's when you listen to you, it's like he done been through it. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had to fight for damn near everything in my life. I got that. I have it tattooed on me. That's a fight.
Wow. That's Japanese? Yeah. Yep.
Because I've had to fight for everything.
Yep.
There wasn't stuff that was just handed out to me.
Yeah.
Even the stuff that was handed, stuff that my mom gave me, all that stuff had requirements too. My mom had a list of requirements to get anything. You better graduate with a 3.0. You better have at
Bro.
least scholarship. You better be involved in this, and that. You better play at least 2 sports.
Yep.
Had a list of requirements.
Yep.
Anything that I wanted came with requirements that I had to meet, or I didn't get it.
Man. And would you say that your mom purposefully did that? Do you think she knew?
I think so. My mom was extremely tough on me when I was young. Wow. Extremely tough. I remember I failed in math class in 6th grade. And she said if I failed another class again, that she wouldn't do nothing for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, man, what the heck, then, right?
She said she ain't doing nothing for me. No new shoes. You're gonna be wearing the same outfit.
Yeah.
Because the summer school was $100.
Oh yeah.
And then she could pick me up from the summer school, but instead she made me take 2 buses home in the heat. And out here in Vegas, 110, 115 degrees. I'm taking 2 buses home and walking.
That's a good mama. That's a good mama, man.
My mom did not let me be soft.
Yeah.
When I was young. She really didn't.
Yeah. Bro.
So she did what she could as far as like the masculine side. So I know some of those things may seem extreme, but she had to be extreme because she's not a man.
Exactly. Bro. Where did the mentality of risk taking come from? Where do you feel like you developed that? Because now you're a business owner. You said you had what, 2-3 businesses already?
Yeah, no. So I have the podcast is a media business,
right?
And then I'm a personal trainer, and then I do online training and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the credit business.
Okay. Yeah.
I did the credit business. So this is how I got started in the credit business. Mm-hmm. I had seen this ad that I've been seeing from this dude for a long time. And he was talking about how he had cleared 7 figures in his credit repair business. And he was teaching, he was opening up the class for 100 people to join. And the class was $6,897. I didn't have that. At the time, I worked at an elementary school and I was doing like Uber Eats and stuff.
Yeah.
And I did have a lot of available credit. I think I had somewhere like 30,000.
Yeah.
At the time. And I was thinking, all I was thinking was $6,000. And I was thinking, how much was it going to cost me to go to college?
Bro.
Almost 20. I was like almost $30,000. I was like, okay, how much did I finance my car for? $12,000, $13,000? Are those not risk? What if I can't pay it? What if it doesn't? What if I crash it? What if? I stopped asking myself the negative side of what if. Yeah. What if I succeed? What if this works out? I start asking myself different questions, and I invested in it. I showed up to that class, and I still have access to the portal. He made me one of the lessons in the course on how to make content, because I was making videos twice a day, 7 days a week on credit content. I had a different podcast. Nowadays, I wrote 2 credit books, but I republished those books under my mom's name, and she's restarting the credit business under her name just because it's not something I'm doing anymore. It's not something that I want to do. But I have hundreds of testimonials of people buying cars. I have video testimonials. I did a whole thing. You can go check it out on TikTok. The company was called Fortune 800. Fortune 800.
It's on TikTok now.
Yeah, it's on TikTok now. I don't post on there anymore, but I took that risk.
Yeah.
And I started asking myself, what if these things do work out? These people are so caught up in the negative. There's so many things that can happen wrong. Or what if this? What if this? What if that? I'm like, dude, we'll worry about it when we get there.
When you get there.
Like, I'll figure something out. I figured out my life up until this point. It's not like I've had somebody to sit me down and say, you need to do this, and that. Everything I've done has been my own epiphanies from watching other people who are successful.
Yeah.
Would somebody who makes the kind of money that I want to make second guess a $6,000 investment to
Come
learn
on.
exactly what they need to do to get exactly where they need to be. Would somebody who
Not.
makes what I want to make
Mm-mm.
think how I'm thinking?
Mm-hmm.
The answer is no.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to adopt that thinking.
Exactly.
That's how I started to look at it. Would the version of me that's making $500,000 a year,
Yeah.
who's got a pop in TikTok, who's driving the car that he wants, is he worried about a $6,000 investment to learn what he needs to do to get to the next level? I just invested in a mentor for my podcast,
Let's
7 grand,
go. Let's go. Let's
seven
go.
grand,
Wow.
a year-long mentorship. He's going to show me how to get the podcast to 6 figures.
Mm-hmm.
And you think I was sitting there worried, oh, what if it doesn't work out? What if it
Yeah.
doesn't work? You think I was giving myself disempowering
Yeah.
language or said disempowering self-talk? Why?
Why?
Even if it doesn't work out, what would that do for me? Even if it doesn't work out, worst case scenario is I have a credit card bill that I got to pay down. People have credit card bills for Gucci bags.
Come on. Come on, man. You investing in an asset. Yeah.
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 There's nothing, or there's no stock, there's no house, there's no investment that I'm willing to bet on more than I'm willing to bet on
On
myself.
myself, bro.
It doesn't exist.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro.
So that's how I started to adopt that mindset. I just start thinking how the version of me that I want to be would think.
You keep mentioning the word mindset. And again, I relate with it because I'm a reader. Like I love to read. At the same time, I don't, but at the same time, I do. And that is, I love to read what I like to read. You know,
Yeah,
like
I didn't like reading in high school, but I love reading now because I
bro,
can read stuff that empowers me.
bro, exactly. I don't want to read about no history. You know, I don't want to. I don't want to read about no. You
Great
know,
Gatsby or slavery or
yeah,
this
yeah.
and that. I don't care.
I don't really care. Exactly. Like, let's just be honest, you know. And then the teacher just makes it even more boring. But
Right.
I can grab
Monotone.
monotone. But you can grab a Robert Kiyosaki or a Gary V book. You know what I'm saying? Crush It was a really good book I had read from him. Or again, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Or you know, you just read all these different type of books and or even YouTube them. YouTube these guys and just listen to these motivational speakers and hear their story. And then, bro, you really start to take on their mentality.
Right.
You find yourself being them and doing what they do. Like you said, you start putting yourself in the shoes of a person who is where you want to be.
Yeah. So I'm gonna think like that as opposed to think how I am thinking, because I am not where I want to be. So why would I take my advice?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Like you really have to focus. I'll ask you this: how important is the mentality of, let's say, an entrepreneur or someone who wants to, or anything, right? Any maneuver. How important is the mentality aspect of it? Would you say that's more important than the actual doing? Like, can a person do and not have the mentality of a basketball player, or the mentality of a Kobe, or the mentality of a LeBron, or the mentality of a Vernell? Like, can I start that credit business, or can I do this? How important is mentality to all of this?
I think it's extremely important because when I worked at Hilton, we all got the same script. We all got the same script to say over the phone. But
Mm-hmm.
some people believed that it would work more than others. Other people were so worried about, oh, can I change this part of the script? Can I do this? Can I do that? Oh, this doesn't really fit me. You're trying to change it before you've even adopted or really implemented it at a high level because you don't believe.
Yeah.
You do need that blind, irrational belief in yourself. It almost, to get, especially nowadays where everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, they want to do stuff online. You have to have that blind, irrational belief in yourself to really get to the next level. And that doesn't always come from birth.
Yeah.
That can be developed.
That can be developed.
If you ask me.
Yeah.
It can be developed. But you have to be willing to say everything that I've learned and the way that I've been operating up to this point is wrong.
Yeah.
And I need to change it. And if I revert back to my old self, I need to recognize that and chip away as much as I can. A lot of people are so worried about cutting off this person, cutting off that person. Have you tried cutting off the old version of yourself? Have you tried cutting off the old version of yourself? That'll do you way better than worrying about the people around you. It's great to get a new circle of people, but if you take your same self to a new circle, you take yourself everywhere you go.
Dang.
You
That's
need to cut
good.
off the old version of yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I had to do. There were
Yeah.
some things where, some mentalities that I had about money,
Mhm.
just just from the environment that I grew up in, I
Yeah.
had to get rid of those.
Yeah.
I read my favorite book to this day is The Millionaire Fastlane. I read that book in between shifts and on my breaks when I worked at the elementary school and did the Uber Eats.
Yeah.
I read that book, and it just changed my life on how I was thinking about business, how I was thinking about money. I was like, this whole time I'm thinking I gotta exchange time. I gotta just gotta work more, work more, work
Hmm.
more. That's all I was thinking. Okay, if I get 6 jobs, I can
Hmm.
make 6 figures.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. But that changed my mentality. But you
Yeah.
have to be open to change. A lot of people, they're so uncomfortable with being wrong
Bro.
that they won't change their opinions. They'll do mental gymnastics to justify their way of thinking because they're uncomfortable with being wrong. I don't care about being wrong.
Exactly.
I care about being rich.
Exactly. And I
I
love being
don't
wrong.
care.
I love failure. I love like
Yeah.
you love it.
Yeah.
Teaches you.
People want to be right more than they want to
Right.
be rich. I
Yeah.
want to be rich more than I want to be right.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And the only way that money's coming is through failure. Like no one, no one has obtained $1 billion company. I remember Gary Vee saying without again risk. Because fear is a fear is one of the fastest ways to not make money. Like it's
Right.
definitely,
People
bro,
scared of everything.
bro. That's
They're scared of everything. They're scared of a $20 course. They're
bro.
scared of, like, damn, you might as well
Right.
wrap it up. If we talk, oh, I want to, I get DMs all the time. Oh, I want to invest in, because I have an ebook that I put together from my guests,
Yeah.
and it's called 7 Steps and 7 Streams. It's $27. And I
Mm.
get DMs like, oh, I want to invest in it, but I'm not sure if it's gonna work. You're worried about $27?
Right, bro.
Don't buy it. Don't
Don't
buy
buy
it.
it. Right,
Because
right, right.
if you're worried about $27 and it not working, all the stuff that's in the book you're not even gonna be able to do. Don't buy it. You're gonna waste your time.
Come on,
I don't need you to buy it.
come
I'm
on.
getting the sponsorship money.
Yep, yep. Yeah,
I'm getting the sponsorship money.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
got other businesses that I do offline, other
Yeah.
ways that I make money. I got my training business.
Yep.
So I mean, of course I want to make money from the podcast. I want to make as much money as I
Right.
can, but don't buy it if you're worried about $27.
Exactly, bro. Volumes, bro. Volumes. Like I want to transition right quick because I see this element in you as well, and that is hard work. You know what I'm saying? You seem to be somebody that I know. Like again, I haven't been doing this that long, bro. Vernell, I've been doing this probably for maybe going on 2 years, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that long, and it was on and off. It was actually a stopping period, by which a few
Mm-hmm.
months I actually didn't do anything. The groups I just started,
Oh, okay.
so yeah, I just started
Okay,
that.
a
That's
lot of progress.
bro. I
So,
appreciate it, man. It's not even a year. Yeah, it's not even a year yet. Probably almost 5 months, but like literally again, the aspect of the amount of work it takes to get these things to where they want to go, especially organically. Especially when you're putting in organic traffic. You're putting in those hours of communicating DMs, comments,
yeah.
posts. Bro, talk about the work. Talk about the work uh, ethic you have to have with all this stuff, rather than just talking.
Yeah. I like to call it you can call it escape altitude.
Mm,
So when a plane takes off, most of the fuel is burned getting to altitude
yep,
so they can cruise.
yep,
This is how you got to think of your hard work,
yeah,
because you only have so much in the tank. There's only so much in the tank, no matter how much we all want to act like we can just work
right,
to the ground. We only have so much in the tank. Some people have more, some people have less.
yeah,
You got to think two things. How much do I have in the tank? How can I add more? And how can I leverage other people so that I can get it to the next level?
mm,
So you want to empty your tank every day until you have enough extra fuel money to where you can start leveraging other people's tank. Like I have an editor for, I was doing all the edits for my podcast for a while. Now I have an editor who helps me improve my TikTok videos. Once I hired him, that's when we really started blowing up. I was doing all the edits on my own. I was just putting them in CapCut and doing the auto captions. Once I added him doing putting on the music, all the jump cuts, everything that will keep people's attention, million views, 2 million views, 500,000. Things start blowing up. So ask yourself, how much do I have in my tank? And the older you get, the less you have.
The less you have.
The older you get, the less you have. This is something that you want to start young. I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is a good time to party. It's a good time to do this.
Bro.
This is a good time to empty the tank.
Empty the tank, bro.
That it's a good time to do that because let's say I empty the tank for 4 years straight. Your tank is still running out even if you're not using the fuel.
Yep.
It's still running out.
Yeah.
You end up 30, you tired as hell. You ain't even done nothing. like you haven't even done anything.
Yeah.
10 minutes? 5 minutes? We gotta head out in a little bit.
Bro, absolutely, man. We closing it out anyway, bro. This is what you just said was grand, bro. It again, everything you saying, everything you ultimately is putting into what it is that you're giving. You know what I'm saying? What it is you're putting into in terms of your work ethic, your craft, just all different elements, bro, of what you're speaking about. You're actually doing. You know what I'm saying? You're not a hypocrite about all this. So yeah, I actually see the work. I see what you're talking about. I see the numbers. I see the work ethic that's coming in with the videos and the craft, your mentality behind it.
Yeah, all that stuff takes work. Those videos
takes work, man. I'm telling you. I'm seeing it, bro. And so it's really it's an honor, bro. It's an honor to even sit here with you, man, and just chop it up with you. And you're 23. You get what I'm saying, bro? You still got a tank. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man, I got a lot in the tank.
You got a lot in the tank.
I got a whole lot in the tank.
And you know about the aspect of passive income. You know what I'm saying? You're building and leveraging your time or your money in place of time, right? You exchange your money for time. Exactly.
I buy time so I can expand my income.
Come on, man. Come on.
But yeah, man, I really do appreciate you having me on, man. Bro. We can do another interview in like a week or two, and we can talk about some other stuff.
Let's do it, bro. And I gotta catch you on an anime call too. I got a whole big group anime call coming up this Saturday.
Oh, for real?
Sure it's probably gonna be a bunch of people deep. I got a dude on TikTok who has probably like 500,000 followers, and they're gonna be in that group. And so we're gonna be doing like an big anime guy group where we're just talking about anime. So if you want to hop through, bro.
Oh yeah, man, that sounds like my vibe.
Love to have you, bro. Love to have you, man.
And I'm gonna shoot you a message on TikTok about coming on tonight at 8.
Let's do it. Yeah. Bro, I would love to have you, bro. Love to have you.
All right, I appreciate it, Trey.
Absolutely, man. Nah, you good, bro. Vernell, bro. Have a good one, man, and thank you, bro. This was an honor.
Yes, no problem. Talk to you again soon.
Absolutely, bro.
All right, peace.
See you.